Asner, and welcome to Everything Emmys, the ones Emmy forgot. This is the Hollywood Entertainment Museum where you can stand on the set of the Emmy-winning show Cheers, like I'm doing. Now, there's a lot of talent in the TV industry, and only 5 nominees in each Emmy category, so sometimes those who should receive a nomination don't end up getting one. And during the next half hour, we'll find out who won't be honored on Emmy night, why that is, and what they can do to change things. We'll start with the list of non-nominees. Emmy night award ceremonies and parties are always packed, but think how big the party would be if everyone who didn't get nominated came. You definitely have to get a bigger venue. Here's a list of the major shows and actors that stunned critics and fans when they didn't receive an Emmy nomination.
If we can't stop her.
Come on, say it. We're bloody well talking about this.
The cast and crew of Buffy the Vampire Slayer was overlooked, but co-star Allison Hannigan's trying to keep a stiff upper lip.
I don't get my hopes up or anything, because you don't want to have a disappointment and have a bad day all day, you know.
I get kind of nervous around award ceremonies to begin with, so an award ceremony really isn't a recognition of, I guess, your work, but it's just, you know, I don't know. It's a lot easier if you can come to these and just wear jeans and a shirt.
Angel's David Boreanaz won't have to dust off his tux come Emmy night. Another major Emmy snub was for a whole network. Despite hundreds of possible Emmy nominations, the WB came up empty-handed. The WB, home to such critically acclaimed shows as Gilmore Girls and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, did receive Emmy nominations in the past, but this year the network has absolutely none. The slight is a topic of conversation in the industry, so we asked TV experts Tom O'Neill, host of GoldDerby.com, and E!Online's Wanda for some insight.
I think it's because the WB isn't represented in every household in the nation, and this largely is a popularity contest. So when you don't have the ratings and you don't have a big showing on the Nielsen's, the voters don't really respect those shows that are lower on the list.
The single most outrageous thing of the Emmy nominations this year is the fact that the entire WB was shut out. Not even a single nomination for film editing or hairstyling. The network that the critics tell us have 2 of the best shows on the tube, The Gilmore Girls and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's outrageous.
Okay, campers, it's almost stab time. You two, get her.
One of the WB network's biggest hopes for an Emmy nomination was Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Sarah Michelle Gellar and Buffy have several problems. They have the fantasy sci-fi genre problem, which is always snubbed across the board at the Oscars, at the Emmys, all of these show business awards. But also it's campy, and I'm not sure that the Emmy voters get the joke, especially since Emmy voters are older, and this show skews younger.
The series, about a college student who battles vampires while trying to date and deal with the problems of an average young woman, was shut out of the nominations. Now the show's stars are voicing their opinions. Sarah Michelle Gellar spoke with us at the Teen Choice Awards.
The Emmy is an old institution, and we don't make our show for that. We make our show for these people, and I'm sure a lot of people on our show would have loved it. To me, it's one less award show I have to get dressed up for.
I'm disappointed about it. I'm sad. Everybody else is like, oh, well, you know, it's okay. And I'm like, no, it's not. You know, the show deserves it. Joss deserves it. Deserves some sort of recognition.
The cast is also unhappy that Buffy's creator and executive producer, Joss Whedon, was overlooked, even after he campaigned in the industry trades for a series Emmy nomination.
I was devastated that Joss didn't get any sort of a recognition, or the makeup, or, you know, the people that really, really work so desperately hard.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer has 2 things working against it. First of all, it's a genre show. It's about vampires. It's not about Washington, D.C. It's not about mobsters. It also is a teen show. It has hot young stars. The WB has largely promoted it as a teen show. So voters really don't respect these younger-based shows as well.
After 5 years on the WB, the show's moving to the UPN network. And co-star Michelle Trachtenberg has high hopes for the future.
We make the show because we love to make the show. It would be wonderful to be honored by the Emmy Academy, but you know what, there's always next year. I think the fact that this year they nominated a couple more younger actors, and then maybe next year they'll be more open to the show, because it really truly is a brilliant show.
While these shows didn't get recognized, they're not completely ignored. Fans notice when their favorite shows don't get a nomination. Coming up, we'll hear what the stars should do to get the Television Academy's attention. Sometimes shows cross over between drama and comedy. That can make it difficult for members of the Television Academy to classify.
I think that it's weird, the dramedy kind of category is tough. You know, when you're up against people from Will and Grace and Frasier and, you know, Friends, this stalwart, that is what America thinks of as comedy when they say a comedy.
Do we fit into drama? Do we fit into comedy? We've always had that sort of dilemma.
And lately, the Television Academy has been accused of being age-biased against youth.
I'm not too surprised the actors didn't, just because we're looked at as a teen show and everything. And the problem is that, you know, the Emmy board is really the people who are in, you know, who can nominate the show really don't watch the show. You know, they're not the target audience.
Another factor causing shows to be Emmy overlooked, there's just too many series to choose from. Boston Public's Michael Rappaport says making a decision is tough.
There's so many talented actors on television, and there's so many very good shows, so people are going to get lost in the shuffle, and there's politics involved. I don't really, you know, people know who's doing the good work and who's not. It's always good to be you know, recognized in that way, but I don't think you could really get hung up on it.
I think that if you look at the list of nominees, you can see that they're all like deserve to be there, and that, you know, they should be there.
You know, I'm a member of the Academy, and when you get the ballot to vote, you know, you have a choice of, you get to pick 5 people. And you look at the supporting actress category, and it's like 75 actresses, most of which are just brilliant actresses. So it's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna narrow that down to 5.
Is that too much of a sheet?
That's a little too much. There.
Despite the slightly overwhelming odds against them, there are certain things that can be done to increase a show's odds come Emmy time.
If you want an Emmy nomination, it's just like everything else in life. You have to ask for it. You have to take out ads in the trade papers. You have to be visible during Emmy season. That means get out there on the talk show circuit. Get onto Leno and get onto Letterman. And if you have to get arrested, do that. It helped Robert Downey Jr.
You know, no matter how much you think you're prepared for it, you'll be stunned.
Campaigning is crucial across the board. The trade ads, the videotapes sent to the voters at home. A lot of TV is out there, and it's all competing for the same gold prize. You have to get noticed. That's what it's all about.
Thanks, Tom. While the series we looked at today aren't in the running, there's always next year, so don't give up. From the Hollywood Entertainment Museum, thanks for joining us. I'm Jules Asner.
Oh, Buffy, I don't think so. Frying pan or fire. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. Very nice. Good here. Thank you all.